to the Standard 81 podcast. My name is Sincere, and I am back again with another video. But before we get started, let's go ahead and take that quick 30-second break, and I'll be back with you here in 3, 2, and 1. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for rocking out with me. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. That would be greatly appreciated. That helps with the podcast get out to more people, and more people are informed of what I'm doing. So I appreciate it so much. As well as subscribe if you like the stuff that I'm doing. I really appreciate that. Once again, another way of helping out a brother. As well as put a comment down below. Let me know what you think about what I am stating in today's topic, as well as share this with somebody you think needs to hear it. Without any further ado, let's get into it. What does love mean? What does love mean? That's today's topic. Now, when we talk about love, we can talk about it from many different aspects in many different ways. There are several types of love, as you all know. There's fellatio love, which is brotherly love. There is agape love, which is unconditional love. There's eros love, which is romantic or erotic love. And there is I think I said romantic. And there's romantic love, right? I think eros and romantic go together. So it really just kind of depends on where you're at. Anyway, there are many different forms of love. But the question is, what does it mean? What does it mean to love? And, I am a big advocate of making sure that we know the proper definitions of words, because words have meaning. And in order to get the proper context of any word and know how you can better relate it to your life, you need to know what the proper meaning of it is. Now, according to the Webster's Dictionary, the word love means strong affection towards affection towards one another, an arising of kinship or personal ties. Let me read that one more time. A strong affection for one another, an arising of kinship or personal ties. It also says an affection-based desire, a tenderness, or an arousal towards another person. And the last definition they give here is a warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion. Right? So now that we know what the word love is, now we can begin to relate that to how we do things in today's society. And then the question becomes, what type of love are you looking for? And I think that is the big issue that is plaguing the world today, because so many of us are looking for unconditional love from human beings who don't have the capacity to be able to love in that particular fashion, right? Agape love is not something that can be given by human effort. Phileo love can be given, Romantic love can be given. Eros love can be given, but unconditional love, to a certain extent, cannot be given in human context. Now, does that mean that you cannot learn how to love somebody unconditionally? Absolutely not, because the Bible tells us we can. But in saying that, you have to ask yourself, what is it? What love am I looking for? Because now we know the meaning of the word. So when people tell you they love you, you need to ask them, what do you mean by that? What is the qualification in which you are saying that? Because what you'll hear often, a lot of times, and you may perceive as one thing, may be another. Somebody may tell you they love you and they love you as a brother or a sister. And you're thinking they love you romantically. You need to find that out through inquiring of them more. You may be looking for an agape love, an unconditional love, and trying to find that within a romantic spouse. No, that's you're not going to find that in just merely romantic ties. Because unconditioned means it doesn't matter what happens, I still am going to feel and act the same way that I would if you were doing this, and this. That's the whole point of the word unconditional. It means despite your actions, despite what is coming, despite what is going on, I am going to feel this way towards you, and I'm going to act a certain way towards you because I said I love you. The biggest the biggest way you can see that is in the Bible, honestly. And you guys know that I'm a Christian, so I'm gonna speak from a Christian standpoint. You say, how do you find that? It says, "For God so loved the world," and this is John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever believe in Him would not perish but have everlasting life." Now let's think about that in proper context, right? God gave to us His Son, even though we were undeserving. Even though we did nothing to deserve it, humanly speaking. And even though when he got on this, and even when he got on the scene, we despised him and ultimately we crucified him. Now, was that a part of God's plan? Yes, ultimately it was a part of God's plan. He was the sacrifice for our sins to make atonement for us. But having said that, we didn't make what God had to do any better by the way we acted towards his son. The Bible says this: for the joy that he was going to get, Jesus endured the cross. Now, here's where things begin to turn a little bit, because love in and of itself is not something you're going to feel all the time. It's going to be more of an action. I'm going to say that one more time. Love is not going to be something you feel all the time. It's going to be more of an action. Because Jesus did not love the fact that he had to die on a cross. It didn't feel good. So if we had to use love in the sense of feelings, he shouldn't have done it. But he did anyways. So that in and of itself goes to show you that in most pretenses, love is going to, if you are looking for a certain type of love, there are going to be some things you're going to have to endure in order to find what it is you are looking for. So what once again, I will say, even though we're asking what love is in this particular stream, I'm going to say, what is the love that you are looking for? And once you know what the love is you're looking for, then you can find out the meaning of it. Because some of us don't initially want eros. Some of us don't want romantic. Some of us just need a brother or a sister to come alongside of us and help us along the way. And once you have that perimeter in your mind, you can better navigate relationships throughout life that help dictate your life and help move you along your journey. But without first knowing what it is you're looking for, you can't really define it. This is why the whole topic of love has become so complicated. Because oftentimes people are out there looking for something in particular, but they don't really know how to define what it is they're looking for. They just know they're looking for something. So what winds up happening is you may run into somebody who is looking for one thing and you're looking for another, and you're trying to put two positives together or two negatives together, and they don't attract to one another that way. So the first step in finding out what love means is what is it what is the love you are looking for? I think that's the first step. What kind of love are you looking for? If if it's purely physical, if it's purely eros, then you don't then in that case there shouldn't be all that much of a criteria for you to find someone to interact with. But if you are looking something for something more relational, then maybe you should add some more criteria to it. If you're looking for somebody who is more of a brother or a sister to you, then yeah, there should be some criteria. There should also be some things that are not included in that specific type of relationship, and then there are some things that are included in that specific type of relationship. But then when you start talking about that agape stuff, nothing should be off limits. But then you got to ask yourself, is this a type of individual I can see myself giving that type of access to, giving that type of affection to? And if the answer is no, then maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you should take some time to think whether or not you have the capacity to do that. Because most any other love inspired relationship comes with some type of conditions. But when you start talking about agape, which once again I believe only God can give, I don't think it can be found in human beings in and of themselves. I think they are capable as long as they're connected to the Father, but that's got to grow over time. Sorry, guys. There is going to come some kind of parameter in which you have to fall in line with. There's going to be some kind of uh, guidelines that steer that relationship in a particular direction. And see, often, and I've said this before, and I will say it again. Oftentimes in our interactions, as far as developing relationships with other human beings, we don't take it as seriously as we should. When honestly, our interaction with human beings and developing relationship is the one thing that can change our life for forever. And it's not just the romantic relationships. It is every relationship. It is your brothers and your sister loves. It is your eroses. It's everything that you could possibly talk about within the love sector. Because see, who you hang around helps to shape your character and your demeanor. If the people you choose to interact with are of bad character and bad moral value, you can expect to become somebody of bad character and bad moral value. But if the people that you choose to associate with have great values and great character, then it will further push you towards greatness. It will further push you towards the things that are good, the things that are right. But where there is a lack of that, all of a sudden, things are in shambles. It becomes utter chaos in order to do things. It becomes a task to get things started. And that's what you want to stay away from. But I think the dilemma here, be, sorry guys, once again, technical issues. I think the dilemma becomes, what is it we're looking for? And we want so bad to feel the connection that love brings that we often don't know how to define what it is we're looking for, or what it is, what type of love it is we're wanting, let alone what it means. We're just trying things out and hoping something fits. But here's the problem in trying things out and hoping that they fit. If they don't, you have to go back to the drawing board. And oftentimes, if the connection is bad, I'm not even saying terrible or traumatic, just bad. It comes with a lot of grievances and a lot of things that you have to heal from, which makes you more susceptible to negativity rather than positive. And for a lot of us, including myself, it takes us a long time before we realize we need help in a particular area, and we begin to get that help. See, here's what I see often. There are 3 points when it comes to when it comes to getting out of something. There's the point of where you realize you're in a bad situation, right? And then the next point of realization is, okay, you know what? I need to get out of it. But then the next point of realization is actually getting out. Because you can realize you're in a bad situation, and you can be moving towards getting out of that bad situation, but actually getting out of it seems to be very difficult for most people to do, because there's a longing for love, and each other creating bonds between human beings is not an easy task, and especially when you don't know what it is you're looking for, more or less, nevertheless, what it means. So you say, okay, cool, I get your point. I get where you were going with this. What are some of the key suggestions you would say that would help me out to figuring out what love means? Well, first and foremost, I am always going to recommend you get in touch with your Heavenly Father, the God who created you, the one who made all this, and find out what He thinks about you, and and the type of love that He has to offer. Because the type of love He has to offer is unconditional. He will accept you just as you are. and get you to a place where your heart wants to change. He's not going to force you to do it, but you're going to want to change because of the love that he has displayed to you. Unchanging and consistent love. Second, identify what it is you need in the season that you're at. Identify what it is you need in the season that you're at. Because every season doesn't require eros or romantic a love. I would even bound to say that sometimes you need self-love, as much as I hate that term. Sometimes you need to love yourself. The Bible does say love your neighbor as yourself. But if you don't, how can you love your neighbor if you don't first love yourself? You need to figure out who you are at some point. And in some stages in life, you just need friends. You just need people who are going to be there with you, not only to hold you accountable, but help you to walk through your circumstances. And then the last point I would say, and this is the most important, after identifying what it is you need, look for people and look for people who are along the same lines. Stop just reaching out for everybody and anybody just because you have a void that needs to be filled. You have a particular a particular sense that you want to move in. Take some time to be knowledgeable about who the person is and what they do and how they move and where they go and the things they like and all that good stuff. And I know you're probably saying this. Sincere, you are talking about romantic relationships. No, in order to properly know anybody, you need to talk to them, conversate, build rapport in order to cultivate and develop any relationship. Romantic, eros, uh, phileo, agape, any of those. You need to be able to communicate and find out who they are so that you can properly identify them and put them in the right space that you need them for or you don't need them for. Because if you're in a time in a season where you are looking for romantic love, then you're probably not looking for a bunch of phileo people. You don't need a whole bunch of brothers and sisters at that point. You probably already have a core foundation or a core group of those that you can interact with. Identify the need. And so here's the three. Here's the three things. Get in contact with the Father, number one. Identify the need, and then interact with the people that are along those same lines. One more time. Get in touch with the Father, identify the need, and then get in touch with the people who have that common mind. Those would be the three things that I would say would help you figure out what love means for you. And this is not, and I'm not going to say that this is going to be an easy process or it's going to be something that happens overnight because more than likely it's probably not. You're probably going to have to sort through a lot of different feelings and emotions and consult with people in order to figure out properly where you're at. But once you identify that, then you can really begin to go about finding people. So, in conclusion, Now, love can mean many different things. The definition in and of itself, the definition in and of itself means to be connected, to feel warm. In any one of those definitions that I stated at the top of this, you're going to need to find out what it means for you. And then once you do that, then you can figure out what love means. And that's all I want to say. Anyways, guys, check out the Standard 81 podcast over there on TikTok. I got plenty of videos up, as well as check out the Instagram at Sincere the Artist. I appreciate it so much. Once again, give me a like, hit that thumb. And if you do not like it, give me a thumbs down. Either way is engagement. Uh, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate that as well. Comment down below, type second watch into the comments if you're watching this after it goes live, and share this with somebody who you think needs it. And I will see you guys on the next one. God bless you all. Peace.